Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to see how to install the Kali Linux. So if you downloaded Kali Linux from the kali.org, that is great. Or if you download it from our custom OVA link, that is great as well. It really doesn't matter where you downloaded it. So depending on the situation, you might come across an OVA file or a standalone 7-zip, 7Z file on your desktop or wherever you downloaded it. Don't worry about it, I'm just gonna walk you through to show you every step of it. And again, in this course, we are actually focusing on Linux, so it really doesn't even matter if you're using Kali Linux. Obviously, we're gonna learn Kali Linux and we're gonna practice so much on it. So after you complete this course, you will be actually fluent in Kali Linux. But the actual aim is to get you comfortable with all the Linux distros. So anyway, if you downloaded it from my link, my custom link, then you have an OVA extension file on your desktop or on your downloads folder. But if you downloaded it from the kali.org, then it may come as like a 7-zip file, 7Z. So this is a regular zip file. You have to unzip it. Okay, so if you're on Mac, just double click on it and archive utility will just take care of it. It will unzip it and put it in the desktop or wherever you are right now. Okay, it will just unzip the folder and you will see it. But if you're on Windows, you will need an extra like a tool or a software such as WinZip, WinRAR, so whatever you're using. I bet you're using something right now, but if not, you can just come over here and search for WinRAR download, for example. This is for free. You can just download the WinRAR and get along with it, or you can download 7-zip, WinZip, whatever you want. All you gotta do, just right click on it and say unzip or extract here. So I did that already because it may take a couple of minutes to unzip this because it's a big file. Okay, after you unzip it, you will see a folder like this on your desktop. So even though I hit cancel, it still goes on, so it really doesn't matter. Let me show you the folder. So after you unzip it, you will see a folder like this. Okay, let me just bring this down. In this case, you will see two files, like one VBox file, which is the VBox extension that we are seeing, and one VDI file. So they are the same thing actually. Even if you have OVA or VBox or VDI, it really doesn't matter because it works the same. I will show you how to work with that and also the other one as well. So whether you download it from our link or kali.org, it doesn't matter. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna open the VirtualBox. As you can see, I have many instances over here, and you will have when you complete this course as well. Don't worry about it. All I gotta do, I'm just gonna open this VBox file or folder, and I'm just gonna double click on this VBox file, okay, VBox extension, and here you go. It already added Kali Linux on the left hand side, and that's it. That's all we gotta do. Now you may think that why do we have two files over here, like one VDI file? What does it do? So VDI file is something like more than 10 gigabytes and VBox file is only 3 kilobytes, right? So this is a very small file and it's actually a configuration file. All it does is that when you double click on it, it adds the VirtualBox it adds the Kali Linux to the VirtualBox. Okay, it's a configuration file. And if you've done that, then it's great. So let me show you how OVA file works. Again, all I gotta do, just double click on it and you will see some kind of settings page. Don't worry about it. All you gotta do is just hit import. And it will be appeared on the left hand side when it's done. Now it may take a couple of minutes if you're doing this with OVA, it's okay. And if you're doing it with this VBox file, then it's just gonna pop up over there immediately, and again, it's okay. Now I'm gonna show you how it works behind the curtains as well. I'm talking about the VBox and VDI. Don't worry about it. But while we wait this, let me show you what we can do, the other things like the other options on the Kali.org. So we have come over here and we downloaded the VirtualBox from there, and it's great, but also there is something called bare metal. So bare metal stands for like installing the Kali Linux on the hardware itself. Okay, so we don't even have to install Kali Linux as a virtual machine. We can install it as the main operating system or dual boot operating system on our hardwares, on our computers. For example, you can do something like when you open the computer, it may ask you if you want to open the computer with Kali Linux or Windows, that is dual boot, or you can just delete or erase the Windows and just go along with the Kali Linux. However, we do not recommend that if you're a beginner, because Kali Linux is actually a very hard to use operating system. Okay, you may come across some kind of driver problems, such as maybe it won't detect your keyboard, it won't detect your speakers or something like that, and none of this happens on the VirtualBox. Okay, and if you're working with VirtualBox, you can just break it, you can just do whatever you want to do. And if you do something bad, you can just delete it and install it from scratch. It will just take a minute for you. However, if you do that on the main operating system, it will cause you many problems. That's why we do not recommend that bare metal thingy. However, it's also possible to download this bare metal, which gives you the ISO file, and turn that ISO into a virtual machine as well. And we're going to be talking about it in the problem solving lectures if you come across any problems. If not, if you just can make it happen, if you can make it run, then it's okay. You can go along and never think about it again. And you will see how to deal with that in like a couple of minutes. Don't worry about it. Now, whether you have downloaded the OVA or the VBox file, it won't matter in a minute because you will see it on the left hand side. Okay, now I imported this, and I also imported the VBox VDI file, and as you can see now I see them both on the left hand side. Obviously you only need one, so you don't have to do that. I'm just showing you different kind of ways of installing Kali Linux. And it really doesn't matter. If you see something on the left hand side as Kali Linux, then you are good to go. Now we are actually ready to run this off, but I want to do something else before we do that. What I want to do, I want to click on some Kali Linux, okay, any Kali Linux that you have installed on the left hand side, you're seeing over there, just click on it and find the settings button. Okay, once you click on it, it will just appear on the top of the VirtualBox, and we're gonna have to change some settings of this Kali Linux in order to start this off. Now it's powered off. When we power it on, you will see what I mean. Now I'm just gonna open the settings, and here you go. First of all, we are in the general tab, and you can even change the name of the virtual machine. Okay, you can just make it Kali Linux or something else. In the type, it should be Linux, okay, not Windows, not Mac OS or any other operating system. It should be Linux. Then in the version, you have to choose the Debian 64-bit, okay. So if you're working on a 32-bit machine, then of course you can choose Debian 32-bit. But if you're working on a 64-bit machine, then you should choose Debian 64-bit. Even if you're on a 64-bit machine, if you cannot see the 64-bit versions, if you're only seeing 32-bit versions, then you have a problem. Most probably, you should enable virtualization in your BIOS settings, and in order to do that, please refer to the next lecture. If you come across any problems during this Linux installation, just refer to the next lecture, okay? But if you see the 64-bit right now, just go along with it. And if you don't even see it right now, you can just do the rest of the settings as well, but most probably it won't work in your case. Then you're gonna have to do some problem solving, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Don't worry about it. But if you see the 64-bit, just choose it. and you have to choose the Debian, not something else, because Kali Linux is built on some distro called Debian. Okay. Now, of course, this is not it. We have a system tab here as well. In here, we have the base memory, which is actually the RAM. Now, in the RAM section, I allocated 2 gigabytes, but I have 32 gigabytes on my host machine, on my computer. So I have plenty. So I can actually allocate as much as I want. But you're more than welcome to give like 1 gigabyte over here. Like you can just write 1024 megabytes. Okay, so if you have 4 gigabytes of RAM, for example, then you can just allocate 1 gigabyte. Kali Linux works perfectly with 1 gigabyte, but if you have plenty like mine, then you're more than welcome to just give 2 gigabytes. Of course, giving it less or giving it more may worsen the things, so you have to find this like optimum thingy to allocate over here. So for the other features, I'm not gonna change anything, and I suggest you do that as well. Sometimes it doesn't work, and we have to come back over here and play with these features. So for example, in the APIC enable IO epic here, epic of feature over here, it should be enabled, but I have seen some cases when people disables this, it works, but when they enable it, it doesn't work. So I recommend you don't change anything here, okay? Just leave it as it is. And if it doesn't work for some reason, then come back and play with it. Just disable it and try one more time. Now for the system tab again, I forgot to show you the processor. If you go to the processor, then you can allocate processor numbers as well. So I have 16 CPUs apparently, and I have allocated 2. And again, you're more than welcome to just allocate it 1. Okay, it works good with 1 CPU as well. But since I have plenty, I'm just giving 2, and I'm not changing any other features over here, like I said before. And that's it. So I haven't even changed anything. I'm just using the defaults as you can see right now. Now that is great. And we have to actually look over some of the other features here as well. You're more than welcome to just come over here to display. We won't change anything over here. Most probably it's all fine, but if you see video memory like 0 megabyte, then you're just gonna have to give some. All the green values, all the green ranges are okay, so don't overthink it. In the storage case, so remember the OVA or the VDI file that I have shown you. So VDI is actually connected here to the controller SATA section over there. Now that is how it works. Okay, now VDI is connected over here. So most probably you will see that in this case. So don't change anything over here, don't touch anything. But if some reason, if you don't see it, okay, for some reason if it cannot be found over here, let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna detach it from here, okay, I'm gonna detach it, don't do that. Okay, if you see something like that, if this is empty or if there isn't anything over here, then you're gonna have to connect it manually. Now there are 2 buttons over here, one for optical drive and one for hard disk. We want the hard disk one. If you click on that, you can just add the file, okay, find the VDI file on your browser here, and just double click on it and choose it, and it will be connected. And again, if you see it over there, you don't have to do anything. 99% of the time you don't have to do anything, so just don't touch it. But I'm showing you to let you understand how this works, okay? And that's it for the VDI. This is how they're connected. For the audio, we don't have to change anything. And again, for the storage, if you're working with the OVA file, it should be already there, so just don't worry about it at all. So for the audio, I'm not going to change anything. For the network, we're actually going to change something. So remember, we have created a NAT network when we set the VirtualBox up for the first time. Then we're going to have to just change it. Like right now, it works in NAT. We're not wanting NAT. We want NAT network. Okay, so if you change the NAT network, you can just choose the name. This is the name that you created before from the VirtualBox settings. And in the advanced settings, make sure you change the promiscuous mode to allow all. Okay, right now it should be deny. Just find allow all from here and just change it. So that is great, allow all. So I have changed, actually I only changed this part. Remember, we already use all the defaults in the general tab, system tab, display tab, storage tab. I only changed this. So I changed this from the NAT to NAT network and I hit OK. And that is all. So make sure you got everything right. We're using all the defaults. Just make some changes if necessary, but don't forget to change the network over here. It should be NAT network. And after you're done, then all you gotta do is just hit the start button. Now when you hit the start button, if you get like an error message, don't worry about it, just go to the next lecture. Sometimes it helps if you close it up and try to open it from here, like clicking on the little arrow over here and say open headless, okay? But we're gonna talk about it in the next lecture, don't worry about it. Right now, if you manage to run this Kali Linux, then it is great, everything is working out for you. Now we have to log in. It asks us a username and a password. So if you downloaded it from the Kali org, then your username is Kali, okay? And the password is Kali as well. Right now I'm writing Kali, but if you're using something else like a maybe non-English keyboard, it may not display the right keys for you. So for example, if you have something like a very similar to I in your own alphabet, it may not be displaying the things, so you have to just find the right I for you. Okay, just hit on random elements on your keyboard. But if you have downloaded the OVA from my link, then the username should be root and the password should be TOOR, okay? So of course you have to write TOR in the password and the root in the username section, but I have just written it over here so you can see it. But if you downloaded it from Kali Linux, kali.org, then it should be Kali. And don't worry about the keyboard thing. I'm going to show you how to change your keyboard and how to make it to your local keyboard as well. But if you see the screen, that is great. Everything is working out for you. Now, as you have seen, I made it into a full screen and it works fine. If it doesn't work fine for you, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to change the screen resolution. I'm going to show you how to change the keyboard settings and everything in the next section. But right now, what I want to show, I want to turn this off. Okay, so I want to click over here and say power off the machine. It will just power off the machine and we can start it. Again, we can start it anytime we want from the VirtualBox itself. This is great. Now, if you have made it this far, if you manage to run the Kali Linux, that is great. And you won't be dealing with any kind of problem solving. But if you got any error, then you're gonna have to go to the next lecture. Depending on your operating system, maybe even the next lecture, the lecture after that, because we have different lectures for Mac OS problem solving and Windows problem solving. We have a documentation for problem solving. You have to review that. We have thousands of questions answered before regarding the installation problems. You have to review them. Of course, if you cannot solve your problem anyhow, then you're more than welcome to open a question in the Q&A section, but most of the time people just solve these problems by looking at the following lectures. Okay, so don't worry about the problems, you will solve this. And beware that we will be having like a full-scale Linux introduction lecture or sections in the upcoming section. So if you're curious about how to use the Kali Linux, then we're gonna see it. Don't worry about it. See you in the next one.